Picture this, you're sailing through Antarctica's frozen hell. Your compass spins wildly. The ice beneath your ship groans like it's alive. Then suddenly, through the blizzard, you see it. A massive hole in the glacier. Perfectly round, 200 feet wide. Descending into absolute darkness. The temperature gauge reads -47 degrees Celsius, but steam rises from the opening. This is where our story begins. Captain Alaric Thorn wasn't searching for fame or gold. His 8-year-old daughter Sarah lay dying in St. Thomas Hospital, London. No doctor could explain why her body was shutting down, cell by cell. But here's the strange part. Every night at exactly 3:33 a.m., her temperature would spike to 107 degrees, and she'd speak in ancient Sumerian, drawing the same symbols over and over, symbols that Thorn later found in his grandfather's sea chest, on a map made of human skin, showing passages beneath the earth, marked with one word, healing. December 9th, 1947. The HMS Meridian, a 200-foot research vessel with 27 crew members, vanished into Antarctic fog at coordinates 78°46 S, 1060 RW. The world was distracted by Roswell, by Cold Wars, by rebuilding from destruction. Nobody noticed when Thorn's final radio transmission cut off mid-sentence. We found at the entrance. God in heaven, the Nazis were right. It's all real. Tell Sarah I'm coming with the cure. Tell her, static. Then nothing, forever. The entrance wasn't natural. Someone, or something, had carved it with technology we still don't possess. The walls were polished obsidian, so smooth that Chief Engineer Morrison couldn't scratch them with a diamond drill. Strange symbols glowed faintly in the ice, pulsing every 12 seconds like a heartbeat. When Thorn touched them, they felt warm. Exactly 98.6 degrees human body temperature. Navigator James Whitley wrote in his recovered journal, "The symbols match those from the Piri Reis map. Their coordinates. They're counting down. They're alive." The crew begged him to turn back, especially after they found the Nazi camp. 12 frozen bodies arranged in a ritual circle, their eyes removed, their chests carved with the same symbols. But the most terrifying discovery was the 13th tent, still warm, coffee still steaming, radio still crackling with impossible transmissions from Berlin, which had been destroyed 2 years earlier. The journal of SS officer Heinrich Müller was still being written. The last entry in fresh ink. They're here. They've always been here. They're inside us now. Thorn heard something the others couldn't. A humming at 432 hertz. The frequency of the universe, calling from the depths. The same sound his daughter hummed in her hospital bed. First Mate Thomas Gray recorded, "The captain's eyes have changed. They reflect light like a cat's. He says he can hear Sarah singing below." They descended for 3 days. The temperature rose exactly 4.7 degrees every 100 meters. First, the ice turned to crystal, living crystal that responded to touch with colors that don't exist in our spectrum. Then crystal turned to stone covered in fossils of creatures with human hands and serpent bodies. Then the stone began to glow with radiation that should have killed them, but instead made them feel more alive than ever. Ancient Rome, Atlantis, civilizations that won't exist for another 1,000 years. Time isn't linear here. On the fourth dawn, there was no dawn, because they had entered a world where the sun never sets, because it burns at the center of the earth itself. A sphere of plasma 600 miles in diameter, generating energy through cold fusion that our science says is impossible. Forests of crimson trees tower 800 feet high, their bark transparent, showing golden sap flowing like blood. Their leaves whisper in Proto-Indo-European, the mother tongue of all languages. In the distance, 7 cities of pure crystallized light pulse in harmony, each one singing at a different frequency that together create the song of creation, mentioned in every ancient text. Thorn's journal, found blood-stained and partially burned, had this entry for day 7. "We are not alone. We have never been alone. Population estimate 200 million. They've been watching us since we crawled from the oceans. They are us, what we were before the surface mistake. They came on the 9th night at exactly 11:11 p.m. surface time. Not walking and flowing brace like living aurora borealis given form. 7 feet 3 inches tall, weighed approximately 47 pounds despite their size. Translucent silicon-based skin showing geometric patterns of bioluminescent organs arranged in perfect Fibonacci spirals. Their eyes, their eyes contained galaxies, literally microscopic galaxies spinning in their irises. When they blinked, you could see civilizations rise and fall. They didn't speak. They transmitted directly into your temporal lobe, and their thoughts became your memories. Surface child. You poison yourself with dying light. Your ancestors chose the outer dark 12,000 years ago during the Younger Dryas. They forgot the inner flame. Your daughter fades because she carries the activation gene. She's evolving back to what humans were meant to be. The Watchers gave Thorn a gift, a vial of heavy water infused with monoatomic gold, glowing at 528 Hz, the frequency of love and DNA repair. For the child who dreams of home, they said in unison, their voices creating harmonics that shattered granite. She carries the blood of the Nephilim. She remembers the first world. Save her, but silence follows. Speak truth, and the doors close forever. Sarah, his daughter, was patient zero for the transformation. Her sickness wasn't decay when it was metamorphosis. Her DNA was activating a third strand, preparing her to breathe both oxygen and the helium-3 atmosphere of the inner world. The escape happened on day 12. Something went wrong. Whitley's journal becomes frantic. Morrison touched the sun crystal in the Temple of Shells. His body crystallized from the inside out. We can still hear him screaming in the walls. Gray won't stop laughing. He says he can see all his deaths, past and future. The Watchers are angry. The ground is opening. Run. Run. Only 3 made it back. Thorn, Whitley, and Park. Park threw himself into the sea 2 days later, screaming about spiders made of light eating his dreams. Whitley was institutionalized after trying to dig through his cell floor to go home. He died in 1951. His last words. The bells. The bells of the inner cathedral. They're calling the harvest. Thorn returned to London on January 3, 1948. His daughter Sarah recovered within 72 hours. Medical records at St. Thomas Hospital confirm her temperature, normalized at exactly 3:33 a.m. on January 6th. But the cure came with changes. She could see in complete darkness. Her eyes reflected light. She never ate solid food again, surviving on water and sunlight. She knew things. Lottery numbers, deaths before they happened, secrets people never spoke.